Have you ever sat in your quiet house thinking everything was calm, only for your dog to suddenly jump up, stare at a corner, or bark like something is there? We freeze, confused, because we hear absolutely nothing, but your dog hears a world that we can't even begin to imagine. A hidden soundscape filled with signals, vibrations, and tiny noises that we will never detect. Today we uncover what your dog really hears when your house feels silent to you. Point 1. Dogs hear in a completely different range. We often forget that our hearing is actually very limited compared to a dog's. While we hear between 20 and 20,000 hertz, dogs easily detect frequencies up to 45,000 or even 65,000. This means that what feels like deep silence to us might actually be filled with layers of sound that only your dog can pick up. Small movements, high-pitched frequencies, electronic tones, and distant noises create a detailed map of their environment. Dogs evolved this ability because their ancestors needed to detect the smallest rustle in the brush to track prey or identify danger. When your dog tilts their head or freezes with intense focus, they're gathering data from frequencies we'll never perceive. Their ear muscles also allow them to rotate and angle their ears like biological radar dishes. This helps them locate the source of a sound with incredible precision. Understanding this difference helps us stop assuming that our dogs are reacting to imagination. They are responding to a world that is very real to them and completely inaccessible to us. And once we appreciate that, their behavior makes a whole lot more sense. Point 2. Electronics create a constant ultrasonic hum. Your home probably feels peaceful to you at night, but for your dog it might be buzzing with invisible noise. Modern electronics produce high-frequency sounds that fall straight into a dog's sensitive hearing range. Wi-Fi routers, smart TVs, chargers, LED lights, air purifiers, and even gaming consoles can emit ultrasonic tones that we simply cannot detect. Some dogs are more sensitive than others, and they may feel unsettled in specific rooms because of this constant high-pitched hum. You might see pacing, staring at objects, or barking seemingly at nothing. But to them, the noise is real and overwhelming. Imagine trying to sleep with a faint alarm going off in the background all night. That's what certain devices feel like for some dogs. This is one of the most common reasons dogs become restless or alert when the house gets quiet. The world becomes still enough for them to hear all the electronic signals that were previously masked by daily activity. Understanding this can help us adjust their environment, reduce stress, and even rearrange certain items that bother them. What we consider silence can feel like sensory overload for them, and their reactions are honest attempts to cope with what we cannot hear. Point 3. Small critters make big noise to a dog. Many homes have visitors we never notice. Mice in walls, squirrels in attics, and raccoons near windows create ultrasonic squeaks and scratches that dogs hear perfectly well. For us, these sounds are total silence, but to your dog, they are loud, clear, and extremely meaningful. These noises awaken ancient instincts tied to hunting, protection, and territory. It is common for dogs to stare intensely at a corner of the room because they are tracking movement inside the walls. They are not imagining danger. They are reacting to real activity we cannot perceive. This is why barking at night is often sharper, more focused, and seemingly out of nowhere. The house is quiet, so the smallest critter sound becomes a full alert signal. Dogs may also sniff, dig, or pace as they analyze what they hear. Their hearing evolved specifically to detect tiny prey, and even indoor dogs still carry those instincts. Recognizing this helps us interpret their behavior not as anxiety or stubbornness, but as a response to true environmental noise. Sometimes calling pest control solves months of unexplained barking. Understanding their instinctive reactions brings us closer to how they naturally experience the world. Point 4. Dogs hear far beyond your neighborhood. Your dog is constantly aware of what is happening far outside the house. They can hear car doors closing down the street, delivery trucks turning a corner, footsteps on the sidewalk, and even distant dogs communicating blocks away. This explains why they often react before we hear anything at all. Their world extends much farther than ours because sound carries farther for them. When your dog runs to the window moments before a family member arrives home, they aren't psychic. They recognize the specific sound of that person's car long before we did. Even thunderstorms are detected earlier. Dogs often become restless long before thunder reaches a volume humans can notice. They sense the atmospheric vibrations and low-frequency rumbles, interpreting them as stress signals. This wide hearing range is designed for survival. helping them stay alert to environmental changes. But inside a quiet home, this heightened awareness can feel overwhelming. They might bark or grow tense because the world outside is much louder and more active for them than it is for you. Recognizing this wide auditory perimeter helps us understand why reactivity sometimes appears sudden. To them, the signal began long before we heard anything. Point 5. Their nose amplifies their hearing responses. Dogs rarely react to sound alone. Their extraordinary sense of smell works together with their ears to create a complete picture of what is happening. Dogs have up to 300 million scent receptors and a brain designed to decode odor with incredible detail. So when a dog hears something subtle, the nose quickly searches for confirmation. This combination can trigger barking, pacing, or alert behavior even when you see nothing at all. A breeze through a window may carry the smell of a deer that passed by earlier, or the scent of a new dog in the neighborhood. When sound and smell align, their response becomes extremely strong. This is why dogs sometimes bark at an empty backyard. To them, the space is full of signals that tell a story. The combination of advanced smell and hearing makes your dog aware of events happening far beyond your immediate surroundings. Understanding this connection helps us appreciate that their reactions are not random. They are using multiple senses to interpret their world in a way humans simply cannot match. Point 6. Their vision detects movements we miss. While dogs don't see colors the way we do, their eyes are incredibly good at detecting movement, especially in low light. This means the empty corner your dog is barking at might not be empty at all. They may have seen a shadow shift, a small insect move, or a reflection bounce off a window. Their eyes contain more rod cells than ours, allowing them to see in dim conditions and track tiny motion. The glowing effect we see in photos is caused by their tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer that gives them a second chance to process incoming light. This helps them detect movement in environments that look completely still to us. When combined with sound and smell, this sharp motion detection can make a dog bark suddenly or stare intensely in a direction that appears meaningless to us. They are not imagining danger. They are reacting to details we cannot physically perceive. Understanding their visual abilities helps us respond with empathy, not frustration. Point 7. Sometimes the trigger is behavioral. Not every mysterious bark is caused by sensory input. Dogs quickly learn patterns, and if barking at a certain spot has ever brought attention, they may repeat the behavior. Boredom also plays a significant role. A mentally understimulated dog may create their own entertainment by barking, exploring, or reacting to minor stimuli. Training history matters too. If a dog has been encouraged to alert for certain noises, even softly, they may generalize that behavior to nighttime silence. Separation anxiety, lack of exercise, or insufficient enrichment may intensify reactive episodes. Recognizing the behavioral aspects helps prevent confusion and overreacting. It also reminds us that a tired, mentally stimulated dog is far less likely to invent problems. Combining proper enrichment, scent work, puzzle toys, and structured routines can dramatically reduce nighttime barking. Behavioral triggers do not mean the dog is disobedient. It simply means they need guidance, outlets, and reassurance. Point 8. Medical conditions can influence perception. Sometimes sudden barking or reacting to silent spaces is caused by medical issues. Hearing changes, dental pain, neurological conditions, or even digestive discomfort can alter the way dogs perceive their environment. Senior dogs are especially vulnerable to canine cognitive dysfunction, which is similar to dementia in humans. They may become confused or anxious when the house becomes quiet, leading to nighttime vocalization or staring at walls. Dogs with partial hearing loss sometimes overreact to small vibrations because their senses are compensating. Anxiety disorders can also heighten sensitivity to environmental noise. Recognizing medical factors helps us approach these moments with compassion and wisdom. When behavior changes appear suddenly or feel out of character, a veterinary exam is essential. Addressing pain or sensory decline often reduces these mysterious reactions. Point 9. How we can help them feel safe. Now that we understand why dogs react to silent moments, we can support them more effectively. Reducing unnecessary electronics in sleeping areas helps minimize ultrasonic noise. Using white noise machines or gentle fans can mask high-frequency sounds they find stressful. Providing structured exercise, sniff walks, and puzzle feeding keeps their mind satisfied and reduces reactivity. Creating safe resting zones away from exterior walls or noisy equipment can offer comfort. For dogs reacting to critters, humane pest control may be necessary. And for seniors, soft nightlights and stable routines bring calm. The more we understand what their senses pick up, the better we can design an environment that supports their well-being. Their world is rich, layered, and much louder than ours. Helping them feel safe inside it strengthens our bond and deepens trust. When our homes feel silent, our dogs experience a world full of signals, movement, and invisible noise. They aren't barking at nothing. They are responding to a reality we simply cannot sense. Once we understand their extraordinary hearing and instincts, their behavior becomes easier to read and far less mysterious. Supporting them with comfort, routine, and empathy helps them feel safe in a world that is always speaking to them, even when we hear nothing at all.